All right, beautiful soul. It's Orshi here from Wellness Wave Creations. I welcome you on this beautiful day of Libra season, the 28th of September 2022. I'm chiming in from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, and I have been really called to talk to you guys today about Ayurveda. I will be posting this video on my YouTube channel as well as on the Facebook business page. You guys know the page as Wellness Wave Creations. Thank you so much for following, liking all the work that I put out here. And the more you guys like and comment, the more the algorithm helps other people to find these messages. So I really thank you for all of those. Okay. So what is Ayurveda? When I say I'm an Ayurvedic health counselor, people go, what did you just say? Could you please spell it again or say it again? And they really are not even familiar with this really ancient science. As Ayurveda is not merely a science of disease prevention, it is a complete medical science that aims at healing disease or imbalances within the body and the mind. So we look at the body and the mind and soul correlation in Ayurveda, and certainly we do not treat any of the problems as merely a physical issue. We don't isolate the physical body from the entire being, and as that, this is why I feel that if you come to this space, you're already journey ready to explore body, mind, soul, correlation, and harmonization. Something in your life already has prompted you to this space so that you're discovering on all of those different levels yourself, your problems, the root cause. So just like all medical sciences, really, it understands that disease, is in terms of cause, symptoms, and treatment. So India's greatest text on Ayurvedic medicine by the Charaka Samhita, says, and it outlines the same three components of understanding of disease, and as it is found in most other systems of healing, it's the same of etiology, which is the cause, the symptomology, which are the symptoms, your body's voice telling you that there is something that is not right, and therapeutics, which is really the therapies that we would then in accordance suggest. What I want you to understand is that there has to be a body, mind, soul, holistic view, wholesomeness of you, how Ayurveda views you. So while there are many therapies and many things that one can do that will affect only the physical body, most problems start in the energetics. And if you do not examine the energetics and what's in that energetic field of yours, your own aura, your mind, your thoughts and emotions that are in the mind, as the mind is not just in the brain, you guys. Think about this, and I will let this linger. Where is the mind? Think about it. So, in Ayurvedic medicine, we do understand first your true nature. Then we understand the nature of your disease or problem or ailment. And then, in accordance with these two major findings, we will recommend therapies. So if we don't understand your true nature, and we don't understand the nature of the problem, and I will talk to you guys about what that means really, then how can anybody suggest anything that will actually address the root cause of your issues? So what I am imploring or implying is that when you are in this space, then it means that you're journey ready, you're seeking something, you're already ready to explore body, mind, soul, correlation, harmonization, and connection. Health is the natural result of living in harmony. So disease is the natural end result of living out of the harmony. So healing is the process of returning you to harmony. The knowledge of what is harmonious and what is disharmonious to you and to your system is the science of therapeutics. So in other words, nobody can suggest any therapy to you until they understand your true nature and the nature of your problem. So what we do in Ayurveda is that we will go and dissect these problems. Central to the practices of Ayurveda is to dissect these problems and the knowledge of the 5 elements. And based on those 5 elements, air, ether, fire, water, and earth, are the 3 doshas. Dosha means a default system. Every single one of us has a very unique default system, unique as our fingerprint almost. And so we need to find that unique combination of elements that we're made up of, and that constitution, we call it, has been given to every single human being, every single living thing on earth, in the universe, at conception. So at conception, we have a physiology, a physiological energy force that's being given to us, and that we will be able to break down to the 5 elements, as I have said: air, ether, fire, water, and earth. So every single person, and I'm just going to talk about the human beings at this juncture. We all have a composition, and that composition, what happens is environmental factors, learned stuff, life, gets in the way, and we start coming away from that center point of our own constitution. Now, in Ayurvedic medicine and in my space, if you come to my practice, what we do is we find your constitution first and foremost. So that will be a palette of basically elements that we break down to percentages, and you will be able to see that your original composition is a certain percentage of fire, certain percentage of air, certain percentage of ether, and then in another way to say, we'll break it down to the 3 default systems that Ayurveda calls Vata, which is air and ether, Pitta, which is mostly fire with some water, and Kapha, which is water and earth. So we will take these 3, I like to call them guys, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and we see your percentages of composition of these 3 major default systems. Every single one of us has all 3 doshas in us. The question is, what is the dominant one in your system? And based on that, you need to go and find the suitable items that will match your energetic system, so that we don't have a square peg with a round hole problem. And so there is a lot of square peg and round hole problems out there, which is why Ayurveda is such an ancient science that up to today stands true. And that is remarkable on its own. So what I want you guys to understand that this is what we're recognizing. We're working with the 5 elements, and we're working with the 3 default systems, the 3 doshas. Some people are double doshic. Some people are triple doshic, which is very rare, but it is out there. And there's an infinite possibilities of constitutions amongst human beings, which then brings down to this. There is not one single solution that's going to fit all. Okay? So please be mindful of that. There is not one single solution that'll fit every single person. So when you're trying to find a solution for you, you got to understand about your own unique code. Once you have that code, we then are able to respond to your system based on that knowledge. So what's going to happen is that when these physiological energies or fundamental biological energies that are governing you, it'll determine the functions of your body, the functions of the mind. And so Vata, Pitta, Kapha default systems is where it's at to be examined, and this unique balance of the 5 elements and the 3 default systems is basically what will determine your constitution. So wellness code is your constitution. As far as I'm concerned, you really need to find it. So if you need to explore this, come to my space, and we have a wonderful, simple service of finding your constitution. Even if you don't want to further explore this matter, just to want to have your constitution, that is a base that I assess at the beginning of our working together. So once I have your constitution, we then explore where your constitution goes out of its alignment. So then we examine imbalances, and we examine what causes those imbalances in your system. So it is very unique and specific, following your guidelines, your constitution at conception, that you got at conception. I want to repeat this really because it doesn't integrate, I find, when I'm talking to people. And believe me, there is a difference between a knowledge of something and integrating that knowledge into your life, into your 3-dimensional world. So we teach people in this space how to integrate that knowledge. So you learn the knowledge, you learn about yourself, you learn about your constitution. Then you learn about your imbalances, and then we will find the right suitable solutions for you. It could be millions of things. Some of it I can help you with in this space, and many other services I will refer you to the right people who can help you at that level to impact your system. So what I'm trying to say is that this is just where it all starts. It is where the building blocks of life come into play, and they are so simple when you think of air and ether, fire and water and earth, that people are just not even able to think that simple anymore. We don't need to complicate this issue, because nature and the universe and every living thing is comprised of these 5 elements and the 3 default systems. So all we need to do is just to get this template, understand it, have self-awareness, understand what we're all about, understand how we went out of alignment, to bring it back to alignment. But we have to do it on all 3 levels. So body, mind, and spirit. All three levels have to be operating in harmony.